an awful lot was made of how much money was spent in this window, and a huge amount. Kaveh, is that something that football should be happy about or a little bit embarrassed about?
It is what it is. You know, there's a cost of living crisis going on. We all know what's going on around the world, but the Premier League is an extremely successful league. People watch it all around the world. People pay to watch it on TV all around the world. And the clubs have the money to be able to buy players, and that is what they're doing. So we've just seen a record transfer window. Premier League clubs spent £1.92 billion on players. The previous record was 5 years ago, £1.4 billion. So it's gone from 1.4 to 1.9. But we have to look at the net spend figure, because clubs aren't just buying players, they're also selling players. So Premier League clubs, I think, made £850 million from selling players as well this window. So the net spend is just over £1 billion. Now, how much of that money is trickling down to other clubs in the EFL, for instance? I think if you're talking about transfer fees to Championship clubs from Premier League clubs this summer, you were talking about a figure of £140 million. So Premier League clubs gave Championship clubs £140 million in transfer fees. I think the biggest one was probably Jed Spence moving from Middlesbrough to Spurs. The other thing you've got to think about when you're talking about these numbers, I know 1.9 billion is a huge amount of money, but you have to dig down and see, can the clubs afford it? And now,
well, that was going to be my next question. Are they taking big risks here to stay in the big time?
Well, it's not any bigger than the risks they've taken in the past. In 2017, the Premier League clubs spent 30% of their turnover buying players. If you look at the projected turnover of the clubs this year, they're going to spend 32% of their turnover. So it's gone from 30% to 32%. So they're still spending about 30%, a third of the money they make coming in, they're spending it on players. So there's different ways of looking at it. And I know the figures, you know, these are massive figures, and we're just, you know, talking about them as if they're nothing. £100 million here, you know, £85 million there. But the clubs are getting incredible amounts of money in because the Premier League is so successful. And a lot of that money is, yes, commercial, but the big lion's share of it is from TV broadcast deals, not just domestically in the United Kingdom, but all around the world. International TV deals are just going up and up and up.